How does it feel to be so strong? How does it feel to be strong like you?
What makes sports anime appealing? For the longest time, I avoided sports anime because I thought there was no way that anime could replicate the visceral feeling of watching or participating in a great sporting event. The genre existed in a type of purgatory. Sports fans would rather watch live events than anime depicting those events, and non-sports fans had no reason to watch. Considering the bulk of my channel is here from my Haikyuu content, obviously things changed. Little did I know that sports anime offers the best of both worlds. For sports fans, the genre has the ability to depict sports in a way that no other medium can. For non-sports fans, it's an opportunity to convey why so many people enjoy sports. Beyond the genre existing in the middle ground between target audiences, I think my trepidation stemmed from two other locations. The first being a false stereotype that people who play sports can't coexist with those who like anime, which has obviously never been true. The second is that most live sports media in the West fails to replicate matches. The majority of good Western sports stories keep their focus off the field, with few exceptions. Media about team sports is the biggest perpetrator of this, as the realism of film makes it so difficult to recreate gameplay. That is why individual sports like boxing and tennis have proven to be sports that work with cinematic language. The back and forth matches being something you can easily represent without the audience getting confused. Animation and comics don't have that issue, as they can uniquely convey the nuances of sport through their lack of realism. This is sports anime's biggest strength, as the medium allows for the depiction of sports matches to have the same range of emotions as the real thing. Drawing character movement gives authors and animators the freedom to imbue the smallest actions with a level of velocity that live action simply can't, and it takes all of 5 seconds to feel that difference. You might think that the over-exaggerated nature of anime would be a hindrance to conveying sports honestly, but the opposite is true. Anime doesn't replicate the look of real sports, but the feeling a fan gets from watching them. It accomplishes this by stretching reality, some shows taking that to the extreme. The Prince of Tennis and Haikyuu 21 walk a tightrope of what you can get away with while not dissolving the core of the sport. Matches in these series all at once feel like the best of Dragon Ball Z's fights, packaged in the tension of a Champions League final. On the other end of the spectrum, you have grounded titles like Slam Dunk or Ping Pong the Animation that convey matches more realistically. Both do use metaphor to punctuate ideas about players, but the gameplay itself is limited to what's possible in the real world. Ping Pong the Animation is a notable example about the uniqueness of the genre. It actually shares a lot of similarities to the best of live-action sports media, as it's more about characters' internal struggles than exploring strategies within a match. For a moment, I want to focus on the opposite end of the spectrum from Ping Pong the Animation and look at the shonen brand of sports anime. For some of the genre's biggest titles like Slam Dunk, Haikyuu, and Hajime no Ippo, by proxy of them being printed in a shonen magazine, the stories take on shonen tropes. These series follow a linear through line of personal growth. The structure of sports anime is limited to training and tournament arcs with little wiggle room. That means for a title to break through the noise, authors tend to put their focus on character and theme. The genre's strict parameters force authors to come up with unique solutions, sometimes structurally, like with Blue Lock's Striker Facility and Haikyuu's Brazil arc. The tournament structure of these shows means that the majority of the story will take place during matches. To keep matches interesting, authors find a balance of mixing in real-life strategy into the tide of the game, and punctuating big moments with anime staples like internal monologues and side characters analyzing the game state. Kuroko no Basket is my favorite example of how sports anime layers their matches with real strategy, while drawing allows mangaka to make a simple spike in volleyball look more impactful than a real one done by professionals. That means mangaka and animators can add flair to a story that sends any concept of realism out the window for balls-to-the-wall depictions of high schoolers playing a game. In Kuroko, that means that the characters are basically better than any professional athlete in real life. One character makes opponents fall to their knees with a single look, and another one literally can't miss a shot. Kuroko takes sports to the extreme, leveraging the insanity of anime, but Tadatoshi Fujimaka, the story's author, never misses a chance to sprinkle in real strategies into the absurdity of his matches. Take how Seirin overcomes the best center in the show, Muisaki Bara. Muisaki Bara is an unstoppable force in the paint. His presence is akin to that of an unstoppable storm. To overcome Muisaki Bara, Seirin employs the same strategy that the 2004 Pistons used to upset the Lakers and Shaq in the NBA Finals. They pressed up the court and didn't allow entry passes into Shaq, Seirin using the same strategy. A strategy used in the highest level of basketball to stop one of the greatest players the game has ever seen, expressed in a series where high schoolers basically have superpowers. No matter how out there a series gets in its depiction of sports, there's always a chance to mix in real strategy. Internal monologues are the underrated tool in the sports anime toolbox. Much like a novel, comics and animation have no trouble transitioning between a character's thoughts to more omniscient points of view. Because of this, sports can manipulate time without the match's pacing losing momentum. These monologues serve various functions, from character revelations to analyzing actions on the court. By dropping in and out of the minds of players, authors seamlessly give a total view on the implications of a match. This kind of analysis extends to characters watching the game, as authors allow us to spend time with non-players. This has an amazing way of keeping sports anime consistent, as we learn character philosophies through how they interpret gameplay. A nice middle ground to make sure the audience understands how the game works while developing side characters. The accumulation of these storytelling tropes is a genre filled with the most inspiring stories you will ever come across. No matter if you care about sports or not, these shows make you want to become a better version of yourself. What is maybe most inspiring about these stories is how characters progress outside of their comfort zone. A series that inspires us in this way has to be Shonen Jump's new sports manga, Green Green Greens, the manga that makes golf interesting. No, seriously. If people have a hard time sitting down to watch sports anime about football and basketball, then try convincing someone to watch one about golf. Green Green Greens was actually the series that made me want to make this video. The title isn't big enough, nor does it have enough chapters for me to make a full video on it, but I think it has all of the elements of what makes sports anime compelling. Also, its early sales have put it in a potential cancellation territory, so hopefully I can convince some people here to give it a chance. Green Green Greens follows Haku Yaesaki, a directionless high schooler. Yaesaki has never committed to anything in his life. He is shown to be knowledgeable about the salaries of great athletes, and that's about it. He doesn't plan on going to college, even though he could, because he doesn't feel compelled to pursue any one thing in particular. Yaesaki has spent most of his life up until this point drifting between activities, and now the weight of his indecision has left him feeling more behind than ever. All of his friends have made up their minds about their futures, and want to spend their free time pursuing those activities, and that puts Yaesaki in a difficult position. We now live in an age where you are told you can do anything, but when your options are limitless, how are you ever supposed to choose the correct path? For Yasaki's friends, they choose through happenstance. One friend happened to get good at baseball early in his life, the others found coding and creating games as a joy. For Yaesaki, he finds himself at a driving range with a classmate, Nadeshiko Oga, as she shows him that her truest passion is golf. Oga has given everything to the sport and will soon be going to America to continue challenging herself. Her determination opposes Yaesaki's indifference, and she hates him for it. Yaesaki finds himself captivated watching Oga play, and she offers for him to hit a shot. His first swing completely misses, and Oga tells him off because she hates his unwillingness to commit to anything. However, Yaesaki can't get golf out of his mind and returns to the driving range. It's like he has this gnawing feeling that maybe this could be his path. And eventually, he hits his first great shot. This panel expresses the warping sensation that comes with sports, full immersion in an activity, creating a simple purpose. Here, just hitting a ball. Yaesaki and anyone who plays golf or participates in any activity understands this feeling. After the shot, Yaesaki might not be able to verbalize it, but there has been a shift in his mindset as he can't stop himself from going to the range every day, striving to get better. In only 20 chapters or so, Green Green Greens has already explored how all it takes is one moment, often from an unexpected place, to totally change your outlook on life. The story takes on far more than one person getting better, but uses golf as a way of connecting to friends and families. It's a story about how you should be willing to try things outside of your comfort zone, whether that's trying a new activity entirely, or changing the way you approach what you already do. I hope it can survive the hammer from Shonen Jump, because this series could truly turn into something magical. Everything that makes sports anime impactful is on display in this manga. The drawings make golf seem as exciting as anything you see in Haikyuu or Kuroko, and it captures the purity of falling in love with a new activity. You don't play sports to be the best in the world. You play them because of the personal growth it offers. When you look at sports anime in its entirety, its essence comes down to the clip that I played at the beginning of this video from Hajime no Ippo. Seeing people succeed will always light a fire within you. If you've ever found yourself envious of another person's talent or position, you can always turn to the lessons of sports anime to help you through. Sports anime takes the inspiration of the genre and mixes it with the insanity that animation and comics can offer to make matches that are as enthralling as the real thing, but can also slow time down to explore character and strategies, making it the ultimate platform to analyze the theory of sports. No matter your background, you will be able to connect with sports anime, as you will find numerous reasons to fall in love with sports in the world of competing, and that's the core of what makes the genre so compelling. Thank you so much for watching this video, I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget that my first official anime watch-along starts on May 15th, where we'll be watching the 4th season of Haikyuu. Through my Patreon, you can also get access to my Discord server where we host the watch-along, your name at the end of each video, and access to my monthly channel updates. Thank you again for watching the video, and I hope to see you in the next one.